Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Madden 23. So, in the last week there, we went ahead and beat the New Orleans Saints. That was a somewhat close game there. Now, I do find it interesting that in the standings here, we're still behind them, even though we're 3-0 and they're 2-1, and we were the one that gave them that one loss on the record. So, a bit interesting on that, but I guess that's alright. So, let's go ahead and start here with the message for the breakout player Frankie Louvu. I won't speak for anyone else on the team, but I'm pretty happy with my performance this week. You know how elite players always say the game started to slow down for them? Yeah, I finally understand what that means. Perfect. Development trait upgrade. Frank Lewin now has a star development trait and progresses faster than before. That works out great. XP boost of 5,000 XP for your linebacker. So, I mean, if you had watched last week's video there, Lufu did have probably the biggest play in the game. He had a sack that ended up in a forced fumble. That forced fumble was recovered and returned for a touchdown. At the time, the game was 10-7, so it was a very tight game. The Saints had the ball, so they could have either tied or taken the lead in the game in that particular drive. But instead, we turned it into a touchdown for the Panthers, and sort of extended that lead and allowed me to get more into the defense that I wanted of playing coverage with just a few down linemen. And once I'm able to get that defense set up the way I like, I feel like it really puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback who makes mistakes after that. I felt like that definitely happened in this particular game. So we're not going to worry about players ready to negotiate. We don't have the cap room for it right now. We're not going to worry about scouting college players or the practice. We do have to manage our staff and set up the expectations for this week. And at the same time, we'll talk about the news in. Well, we're not going to worry about the talent tree. I do have a point to upgrade, but I'm actually holding on to that point, so I need some more points before I actually use it. Basically, I'm wanting to complete a tree, which is going to help my blocking overall. So that's going to take a little bit of time there. Wanting to get to goals. Let's see here. Thought that this was in franchise staff. Did I already set up the team goals for this week? Oh, it's E for the goals. Using the keyboard right now before the game, then I'll switch over to my Xbox controller. Win by 17 points. I think that's definitely doable. 5 offensive touchdowns. 200, under 200 yards. I think that's definitely doable. Question is, I sort of like this one a bit better because this one there is no midpoint. Here, if I get to, you know, basically 225 yards, I get 2 of the points. So I'd rather have that one. Let's see here. So if we're going with 450 offensive yards there, we might as well go with the big one here. See what we can get. 14 points or less. Not actually sure who we're playing this week. That does matter in this game. So let's go back and see who it is that we're facing in week 3 here. Or in week 4. Oh, actually, I have to advance them because this. My bad. But yeah, the big news in the league this week has been Aaron Rodgers being traded over to the Jets. My personal opinion on that, and there we do go, the standings are proper now. But my personal opinion on that is I actually think it's a bad move for the Jets. Perhaps I'll be proven incorrect, uh, but I just feel like that Aaron Rodgers is getting a bit up there in age. It's not to say he's not a good quarterback. He is a phenomenal quarterback overall. So here's our talent tree that I'm waiting on. But he is a phenomenal quarterback. It's just that I'm not sure he's got that many years left. So I feel like they could have been better with another person. Yeah, I think I can run on the, you know what? I'm going to go, no, I'm going to go for 450 offensive yards. No, you know what? That's just too high of an expectation. Let's up it a little bit. We'll go to 300 yards there, but let's go with the let's go for one of winning the turnover battle. Let's try that one this time. Defensive coordinator allow 14 points or less. I think we can do that. In the weekly game plan here, 5 rushing touchdowns would be nice, but you know what? Let's go 200 plus rushing yards. All right. So we've got all that set up. But back to the discussion on Aaron Rodgers. As I said, I think he is still a phenomenal quarterback, but really what I see is that the Jets have sort of bought themselves a quality quarterback for a couple years. Now, if their plan is to get, say, a rookie out of the draft and they want him to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, much like Aaron Rodgers did behind Brett Favre, I can see that to a point. I still feel like they gave up too much in order to get him, but if that's the plan, I can understand it to a point. But to sort of bring in Rodgers the way they have, it almost feels like their plan is for him to be the face of the franchise. And to me, the face of the franchise isn't for a year or two. The face of the franchise is somebody who's going to be there year in and year out for many years to come. And I don't feel like Rodgers has that many miles left on his tires. I think it is interesting that he has gone to the Jets. The Brett Favre thing definitely comes to mind this way. But we saw what happened with Brett Favre in that type of a situation. He didn't have many years left, and he really wasn't overly noteworthy once he left the Packers. I think the same thing's going to happen here. And as I said, it's more about the fact of what the Jets gave up in order to get him that I feel like is the mistake. Now, I mean, financially, is this going to be a good short-term decision? Absolutely. They're going to have jersey sales just going crazy this year, I would expect, for Aaron Rodgers jerseys in New York or New Jersey, technically. But as I said, just when you look at the long term, what is the plan? And that's where I'm really sort of disturbed by a lot of NFL teams right now. I don't see a lot of teams that are really saying, you know what, we want to build something. We're going to take the time to build it. It's going to be some years of pain. But once we have it in place, then we're going to have a team that can dominate for years to come. Um, I would love to say that I see that in the Panthers. I would love to say that all the rookies we're getting in and stuff are planning for building that franchise for the future. And as I've said before, I hope that I'm wrong. But as of right now, I don't see that with the Panthers either. I think that we're picking some flashy players and just hoping that something sticks. To me, the teams that I really have a lot of respect for is when you go back in the years, you look at the old Washington Redskins when they had the Hogs and such. You look at the Chicago Bears when they were the monsters of the Midway. You look at the Dolphins with their undefeated team. More recently, you look at the Cowboys when they were America's team with Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith. And then most notably in recent years, you look at the Patriots and just the dynasty of a team that was put together in New England. I don't see that anywhere right now. I mean, right now, one of the top teams is the Chiefs. And to me, it's not that they've really built a dynasty team. It's that they have one flashy player who is doing an exceptional job when he is healthy. But we've already seen with them, when he is injured, that team really struggles. And that to me is one of the key differences, is if you get one flashy player or a couple of big name stars and that's what your entire team is, you really don't have a lot going on there. When those people go down, your entire team is nothing then pretty much. You compare that to, say, a Dallas Cowboys or a New England Patriots or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day. These teams were built so that, yes, one person goes down, it does hurt the team. There's no question. A good player going down will always hurt a team. But you still had so many good players on the field that the team's able to overcome that adversity and still win on a consecutive basis and still be a very big threat in the league overall. I'm hoping that we see some teams stand out like that. I appreciate quality teams quite a bit, and I'm not seeing that right now. I'm very curious. There's a few teams that are on my radar that I could see doing that actually. The Raiders have made quite a few moves as of late, And they do have a lot of quality players on their team. If they could get really a coach in place that could use the players that they have, I think they are one that could stand out as a dynasty team very quickly. The Panthers, as I said, we've really got some money freed up. We've got some draft picks available. I would I'm curious to see what we do with it, but we are going to need to have leadership that allows that to happen as well. I'm hoping with the coaching change, we see that leadership change that we needed in order to build toward a dynasty. Personally, I'm not hoping for, a playoff season out of this season. If we make the playoffs, yay, great. But what I'm much more hoping for is that I see young kids in the franchise that are sort of being put in there to be long-term assets to be developed and to grow into the stars that are going to make my team dominant in the future. If I see that, we could lose every game this season and I would be completely content with it. As I said, to me, that's more important than something like what the Jets are doing right now. I feel like they didn't invest in the future, they're investing in the short term. They will get a financial payoff for that investment in the short term, but I truly hope for true Jets fans' sake that they do have a plan in place and that they do plan on bringing in a very young quarterback to learn and to grow underneath Aaron Rodgers so that when Rodgers does retire, in however many years it is, that you have a face of the franchise that can then take the reins and really make that team into his own. Last thing I'm going to check here is just to make sure on the managed team thing that our stadium pick is not available yet. Yeah, we do not have that availability yet. So we're still waiting on being able to move our team to a new city. So for now, all we have left for this week is to jump into the game against Arizona here. We're playing at home, so that's always a good thing. Let's see how we do against the Cardinals.
Today, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers taking on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals.
Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Today it's Week 4 and we've got what should be a great one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Arizona's offense takes the field, and no surprises, the man that's guiding them, the Pro Bowler in his 4th season at the wheel of this offense, Kyler Murray.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Murray. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, now Murray has it stripped, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
All right, partner, this is where I get to show my age. Because I remember when the strip sack kind of came into vogue, where defenders were taught not just to make the tackle, but do that little extra, try and jostle the arm of the runner and knock it free. And that's what we just saw there.
We see Carolina's offense getting set for their first possession here. And at quarterback, his 2nd season with the Panthers, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was one of the big-time early season stories of last year, leading Carolina to a 3-0 start with some really good play. Only one win the rest of the way, however. Not quite the change of scenery boost the Panthers hoped for after getting him from the Jets. You have to think in his 5th season, he will need to play some of the best ball of his career to remain as a starter for Carolina.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Panthers at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners at 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A play fake, and it's Darnold. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown! DJ Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Here's Murray. Finding Green complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On play action, it's Murray. He goes right back to Green. He's got it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down. Murray Murray a give. This is Connor. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
First down, Murray. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark him down at the 9. The end result, 21 yards. They'll run here with Connor, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Murray now. And a quick throw here that's complete. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Dancing to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Call it a big loss of 10 there. And it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Prater's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. The Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. Kingsley Keke there on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off of play action, Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Play action. It's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Darnold. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Now Darnold, and that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That time, a 9-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. To throw is Murray. And that's complete. It's Green here. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Finding Ertz again. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Prater's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We begin across the Atlantic in London, Minnesota, and New Orleans in the first of 5 games in this year's NFL International Series, where it was the Vikings acting as the visiting team who were able to come out on top. Kirk Cousins leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Joe Burrow, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. David Bell leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Panthers set to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here, right at the 30. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davis. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Faking the give, Darnold. That pass complete to Moore. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 23. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, Darnold. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And the Panthers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Never want to underestimate what this young man does, but it's just more of the same from DJ Moore last season as we see him pick up a first down there. 3rd straight year above 1,100 yards, but also his 3rd straight year held to just 4 touchdowns. With his ability to move after the catch and also his ability to take it in the run game, I expect those touchdown numbers to climb.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Giovanni Ricci, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back here for more. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the 2nd half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Murray going to throw. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Murray. Over the middle, complete. It's Green. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Flush. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brian Burns 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Now Murray's got to have this one. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Panthers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Hubbard. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who was shaken up on that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. And Darnold wants to throw the football. That is caught inside the 5. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. McCaffrey, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense takes back over. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray now to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And the Panthers coming out now. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Carolina, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you again for the next episode.